Welcome back to Range Anxiety TV. We've had such success and such popularity with our 4x4 diesel tuning series, which is pretty strange and odd really for a show called Range Anxiety that was mainly about the fun, facts and folly of electric vehicles. We've decided to do another one, another staple diet. This right here, this bad boy is the Isuzu DMAX. Isuzu people are a bit like Land Cruiser people that once you've had a DMAX, you stick with them. Why? Because they are super rugged things. I don't know about the body, the chassis, any of that, but the original DMAX, which was the legendary 4JJ1 engine, is a super tough thing. I mean, super tough. You know, you hear all these stories of indestructibility, and when they're put in like speedboats in Thailand and pumping coal, they make 500 horsepower, yada, yada, yada. This model here, I think it came out in about 20 to 21, I think 20, was the 4JJ3, which is an updated version of essentially the same block configuration that the 4JJ1 had. It's 3 litre, common rail turbo diesel. It powers the new DMAX and its doppelganger, the same car basically with different sheet metal, the Mazda BT50. Now, one of the complaints people have with these otherwise really good vehicles is that they tend to hunt around the gears a lot, particularly when towing, which seems to look like a bit of like not enough torque, I suppose you should say. It's a bit short in the torque department. It's not, but the gearbox is quite sensitive. So if you can tune the ECU on these things to make them make more torque, you're using less throttle, therefore the gearbox isn't quite as hunty up and down. So today, we're going to take this otherwise dead stock brand new car, we're going to custom tune the engine management system of it, the ECU, and we're going to see how much more torque we can make out of it safely, reliably, and of course, cleverly here at PowerTech Tuning. So with that, we'll put it on the dyno, we'll give it a run so you can watch it run, and we'll see exactly what it does. So as we normally do, actually, did you notice that DMAX is silver? Looks a little bit like a Cybertruck. I just had to slip that in. We had to have some reference to Tesla in this show today. I've got my offsider Gareth in the background. He's just sort of like grimacing and looking in this direction. He chooses not to be in the videos because he doesn't want the fan mail. You know, so ladies, just keep rolling in your Mercedes. Right, we performed the base run. And he's laughing again. We've referenced RPM along the bottom of the OBD2, so we do have accurate RPM. Sorry, it is derived. Thank you for correcting me, Gareth. And of course the phone's going, but that's bad luck. It can ring out right now. We performed the base run. We made, how much peak power did we make? We made 106.8 kilowatts at 3,530 RPM. Not a bad result. Torque peaked off the converter at, 540 to 550 Newton meters right down low, which again, as I've explained before in other videos, is quite common in an automatic diesel because they flare up so hard against the torque converter, which is effectively a torque multiplier. So this is, again, what you're hitting the road with in 4th gear. So Gareth is helping me out, which is very nice of him. 4th gear. So, 1900 revs, if you poke it, 1886 RPM, if you poke the throttle flat, you're making 521 Newton meters at the wheels. Now, that's a fact. Now, we didn't just do one tune and that was right. We did a couple of revisions as we normally do to get everything spot on. That's why you custom tune on a dyno and you don't do it out in the car park. In fact, it would be a lot cheaper and easier for us if we could, but that's not how you tune a car, right? So let's have a look what we ended up with. Bang, there we go. Actually, no bang. There we go. 106 to 132 kilowatts at the wheels. That's a good gain, right? You're gonna feel that sort of gruntage under your foot when you're driving, and particularly when you're towing. particularly when you've got your Magic Space Wizard wand in your hand. As long as that's all you've got in your hand, that's good. I have been told off about constant dad jokes on this by a viewer that mails in called Rebecca. And she's like, I love your show, hate the dad jokes, pull your socks up, head. So, let's have a look at the torque, what we're hitting the road with now. Gareth, let's go back there. So, essentially, it makes more torque everywhere. We just took this reference point of 2,356 RPMs, and we've gone from 450 at the wheels to 555 at the wheels. So we're making over 100 Newton meters extra torque at the wheels, which is a bloody good result. And we're doing it with near factory fuel mixtures. You need a tiny bit more fuel to make more power, but what that results in, because you're making so much more torque, you're using a lot less throttle to get anywhere. So when you do tow, right, you're using less throttle, you will use less fuel. None of this 30 or 40% better fuel consumption. That's just fairy dust stuff that people talk. You might get a litre 100 better, which is, you know, something you would expect to get. However, that depends on what you're towing, the gradient you're towing on, how much wind you got. You just got to understand it's going to be better. There's no magic in any of this, as I keep saying. The magic is in the wand, not the vehicles. That is just what we call a properly tuned and calibrated result that you can use, that goes well, and just delivers the numbers. And that is how you tune an Isuzu DMAX correctly.